Hi, I'm Kelly, and my presentation is over the Be Red Cross Ready campaign. So, the history of the Red Cross: Clara Barton started the Red Cross, the American Red Cross, in 1881 after she went to Europe during the Civil War and she saw the good work that the Swiss Red Cross was doing. They received their first federal charter in 1900, and their main roles at that time were to serve the U.S. abroad and at home, be a medium of communication in war times between families and soldiers, and they also started a blood donation programs for soldiers from the public. Their first programs were in first aid, water safety, and nursing, and they were utilized in both World War I and World War II. World War I is when they were first getting started, but in World War II, they deployed over 100,000 nurses and 300,000 tons of supplies. They also provide relief for the 1918 influenza, the environmental disasters such as the Great Depression in the 1930s, and the Korean, Vietnam, and Gulf Wars. They're a partner with FEMA, and today they have 5 purposes. The first is to collect, process, and distribute blood. The second is to help those affected by disasters in America. The third is to support military members and their families. The fourth is to provide health and safety information and training. And the fifth is to send relief to disaster-struck areas internationally. So today, the Red Cross continues their blood donation program. 40% of the blood in the U.S. is gotten through the Red Cross. They also provide guides and information on what to put in your emergency or first aid kits. They have guides on how to prepare for disasters. They have CPR training, and they have how to keep your home properly updated with safety precautions like changing your smoke alarms. They also have information on how to survive an active shooting, various diseases such as HIV and AIDS, and they also launched the Red Cross Ready campaign to prepare the public for natural disasters. So for the campaign overview, they recognize the need for better public preparedness for disaster situations. This can save time, money, lives, and resources. When they put less pressure on organizations like the Red Cross and FEMA, they can spread their aid to more in-need communities. So this idea is beneficial to the public also because they won't have to rely on the outside aid provided by these organizations. The Red Cross Ready National Campaign was launched in 2007, and the purpose is to let you help yourself. So the first part of the campaign is to get a kit. This includes basic items such as food and water, and also family-specific needs like baby food or pet supplies or certain medicines that you need. And then you also have specific disaster supplies. So if you were in a flood-prone area or hurricane area, then you would need certain materials to waterproof your home. The second portion is to make a plan. So the first step in this is to discuss emergencies with your family. Then the second is to delegate responsibilities. And then the third is to practice this plan. The third step is to be informed. This can happen through the Red Cross social media, their website, and on any announcements that they put in radio and TV. They want to make sure that everyone knows the difference between things like warnings and watches, how to travel when there's a disaster, how to contact the authorities, and how to make emergency cards for your family. So the Red Cross Ready also has other channels like their courses that they provide around the country. They have Red Cross Ready, the personal handbook. They have their educational channel and instructional videos on their website and on YouTube. They also have the Red Cross store where you can get all the supplies that you need. They have information that you can share with your friends and family and prepare for disasters at work, school, and for your pet. They also have a Ready Rating website to prepare small businesses for a disaster. They offer instructional videos, steps, and links to join the newsletter. So the public response: local chapters of the Red Cross retweet information about being Red Cross Ready often. And so I have 5 examples here from Indiana, Houston, Canada, Atlanta, and then Los Angeles and Oklahoma. So on the local level, they retweet information, but a low number of people follow the National Red Cross, and they don't receive much information about their disaster preparedness efforts. Their Twitter account is more centered on during and after crisis communication and then just news about their organization. There are some tweets about beforehand preparation, like how to survive a winter storm power outage, but they're often only retweeted before the storm. So the public themselves are really not concerned with disaster preparedness when there is a storm brewing. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has their own public awareness campaign to increase preparation for disasters. It's really similar to the Red Cross. They also have a website, guidebook, and social media channels, but their brand recognition is a lot lower and they have a lower social media following. So the Red Cross has about 5.4 million subscribers, and then the FEMA has less than 100 or less than 1 million. They also struggle with lack of public willingness to participate and lack of awareness, just like the Red Cross Ready campaign. So they reported in 2015 that only 60% of 60% of Americans are not prepared for a disaster. So the impact, it's not really well received. Neither of these campaigns are, especially not the Red Cross Ready. And then their issues with the campaign are that there's a limited reach to the general public. There's inappropriate connection with specific groups such as the poor, elderly, and immigrants. They lack public care and awareness, and they lack public receptiveness. Because the Red Cross is under a congressional charter, their funding is not really affected by the limited effect of this Red Cross Ready campaign. They have a lot larger issues to deal with, and they did their best with this campaign. So the outcomes, there's a lot of information for those who want to prepare for a disaster, so that's good. They have a lot of channels that they can go to, but it's ineffective because the majority of Americans still are not really embracing disaster preparedness. So the key takeaways are to be prepared for a disaster, and the more that you plan, the better your chances are of making it through the disaster.